Only a bona fide producer of fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, and honey can be certified for the Farmers Market Nutrition Program. The producer may send a family member, employee, or designated agent registered with the Farmers Market Authority to sell his goods. If you have ever been disqualified from the Farmers Market Nutrition Program, you cannot be a designated agent in the program. A person can only be a designated agent for one farmer at a time. The farmer must notify the Farmers Market Authority in writing with the name of their agent, the products they will sell for them, and the markets they will sell at. If you share or partner with another farmer and any fruit or vegetable from either entity will be sold for Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program checks, the full details of the sharing or partnership shall be detailed in writing to the Farmers Market Authority before April 15th of each year. Eligibility. Annually, all farmers must submit a new farmer's agreement and a current year's grower's permit to the Farmers Market Authority prior to accepting any Farmers Market Nutrition Program checks. Farmers' agreements must be submitted annually. You must fill it out completely and return it to the FMA. Growers' permits must be obtained from the Cooperative Extension System annually, and a copy must be forwarded each year to the FMA. It's the farmer's responsibility to make sure that FMA has received the farmer's agreement and grower's permit prior to accepting nutrition program checks. The farmer shall provide such information as the state agency shall require for its periodic reports. Accept Farmers Market Nutrition Program checks within the dates of their validity. Clearly mark each check with a farmer's identifier. Provide training to any employee on program rules and procedures. Accept nutrition program checks only at sites authorized by the Farmers Market Authority. If you have questions regarding authorized sites, contact the FMA. The farmer shall agree to be monitored, be accountable for actions of employees, offer nutrition program recipients the same courtesies as other market customers, comply with the non-discrimination provisions of the USDA regulations. The farmer shall not collect sales tax, seek restitution from nutrition program recipients for checks not paid by the state agency, issue cash change. Locally grown. Farmers may accept nutrition program checks only for the locally grown fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, and honey, which they grow on their land in the state of Alabama or on their land within 25 miles of the Alabama border. Farmers may accept nutrition program checks for products grown on leased land that is no more than 70 miles from their home address and is no more than 25 miles from the Alabama border. Exception to grow your own requirement. Farmers may purchase produce and accept nutrition program checks for the purchased product only if the market rules permit. The farmer submits a completed request to purchase form to the Farmers Market Authority to purchase products with justification for the need to purchase products, and permission is granted from the FMA. Products cannot be obtained from a non-farm source, then redeemed for nutrition program checks. Eligible foods. Nutrition program checks cannot be redeemed for nuts, jelly, jam, or other non-food items. They are good only for fresh, locally grown, unprocessed fruits, vegetables, herbs, and honey. Produce may be cleaned, trimmed, and packaged, but not otherwise processed, heated, or cooked. Here are examples of eligible foods. This list is not exhaustive. All fruits and vegetables that you grow are eligible. Checks are valid only through November 15th. Current year will be printed on the checks. It is your responsibility to make sure you're accepting checks within the valid dates. Check colors will change each year. Receiving nutrition program checks. Never give change. Checks cannot be exchanged for cash. Do not collect state or local taxes. Do not accept checks that are damaged or appear to be reproduced or tampered with, and only current year checks are valid. Nutrition program customers should pay the same price for items as do customers paying with cash. Do not accept checks after November 15th of the current market season for the calendar year. Safe handling of nutrition program checks. Keep all nutrition program checks out of sight of random customers at the local farmers market and be aware of where your checks are located at all times. Treat these checks like cash. Reimbursement of checks. All farmers will be inactive each year until the Farmers Market Authority receives a new farmers agreement and grower's permit. Therefore, verify with the Farmers Market Authority that you are eligible to accept nutrition program checks before making any deposits. You must stamp the front of each check with the nutrition program certification stamp. If you fail to stamp the front of the check, or if the number is not legible, the checks will be returned to your bank and a fee may apply. Any checks submitted by a farmer that is inactive will be returned to your bank and you will not be allowed to redeposit those checks. Consequently, all checks returned will be deducted from your account and in most cases a service charge will be assessed to the account. Be sure that you take the letter that the Farmers Market Authority sent you addressing financial institutions for the nutrition program to the bank with your deposits. Enforcement of program guidelines. Farmer monitoring activities will include regular visits to the market, compliance buys, farm visits to check production sources. Complaint process. Report questions or problems to the market manager. If the problem cannot be resolved satisfactorily this way, call or write the nutrition program coordinator at the address below. In accordance with the federal civil rights law and the U.S. Department of Agriculture civil rights regulations and policies, the USDA, its agencies, offices, and employees, and institutions participating in or administering USDA programs are prohibited from discriminating based on race, color, national origin, sex, religious creed, disability, age, political beliefs, or reprisal or retaliation for prior civil rights activity in any program or activity conducted or funded by the USDA. To file a program complaint of discrimination, complete the USDA Program Discrimination Complaint Form found online. Or write a letter addressed to USDA and provide in the letter all of the information requested in the form. To request a copy of the complaint form, call 866-632-9992. Action on complaints. Action on complaints will occur no later than 5 working days from the date the complaint is received and documented. The complaint must contain the name of person filing the complaint, the name of the person the complaint is leveled against, the nature of the complaint. The identity of the person or entity filing a complaint shall be kept confidential unless it becomes necessary to identify that person or entity as a witness at a hearing or judicial proceeding regarding the complaint. For complaints that involve organizational issues within the market, contact the market manager. If the problem involves access to the nutrition program or nutrition program checks, contact the program coordinator. Program violations. Class 1 violations will result in a verbal warning. Class 2 violations will result in a written citation. Class 3 violations will result in suspension and possible disqualification. Class 1 violations include failure to display the Alabama Nutrition Program poster, failure to abide by program complaint process, knowingly providing false information about the program to check recipients or others, failure to keep non-local foods separate from locally grown foods. Class 2 violations include failure to cooperate with a state agency request to inspect a production site, abusive treatment of check recipients. Class 3 violations include accepting nutrition program checks for any products purchased at non-farm sources, accepting program checks for produce that you did not grow without written permission from the Farmers Market Authority, cashing program checks for any reason or person, using checks to buy produce from another farmer, giving cash change, participating in the coupon program while selling foods exclusively produced by someone else, accepting checks at unauthorized sites. Suspension. The first instance of any Class 3 violation will result in immediate suspension and possible disqualification. Upon receipt of notice of suspension from the state agency, the vendor must immediately cease displaying the Alabama Farmers Market Nutrition Program poster and stop accepting program checks at any participating market for the period of the suspension. Period of suspension: minimum of 10 days, maximum of 30 days. Disqualification. Disqualification may be invoked for the third instance of any Class 1 violation during a season, the second instance of any Class 2 violation during a season, the first instance of any Class 3 violation during a season. Extended disqualification. Upon the second disqualification in a 3-year period beginning January 1 of the current year, the disqualification will be for 3 years. Disqualification process. A notice of disqualification will be sent to the farmer via the U.S. Postal Service. The notice will explain the cause for the action and the effective date of the action. Disqualification takes effect on the 10th day from the date on the letter. You may request a pre-disqualification meeting with a pre-disqualification appeals committee. Farmers will receive written notice acknowledging the request of the meeting within 10 days. Appeal procedure. If no pre-disqualification meeting is requested, or if the outcome of the meeting is not satisfactory, the farmer may appeal in writing or orally within 10 days. Notice of time and date of the appeal hearing will be given. The farmer can ask the date be rescheduled one time. The hearing will be conducted by an impartial hearing officer. Opportunity will be given for confronting the person or entity that brought the adverse action against you. The basis of the hearing officer's decision will be delivered to you in writing. This is done on his time frame. The Alabama Department of Ag and Industries and Farmers Market Authority has no input to the length of time it takes to receive a ruling. If the disqualification is substantiated, the farmer will automatically be disqualified. During the appeal, the farmer cannot accept checks until the hearing official renders a decision. If you still wish to pursue the issue, you can request a judicial review at your own expense. Accepting program checks during suspension or after you have been disqualified from the programs will cause you and anyone who accepts the checks from you for redemption purposes to be permanently banned for future participation in the program. Persons involved in such activities could face fines, imprisonment, or both.